Did you know that philosophy, the ancient pursuit of wisdom, has been shaping human thought for centuries? In today's video, we'll be exploring every major philosophical movement in just 8 minutes, providing you with a concise overview of the evolution of human thought throughout history. Let's get right into it. Absolutism. There is an unchanging truth that is always true, no matter what. It is possible for people to find general facts that are always true. When it comes to ethics, it is a lot like objectivism, which says that some actions are absolutely right or wrong. A lot of faiths have morally absolute views. They think that their rules were set by a god and are perfect and will never change. Relativism. Relativism, on the other hand, says that people have different points of view, which is shocking. Ideas and points of view are not fixed and depend on how the people who express them see the world. Absurdism. Based on the ideas of Albert Camus, absurdism confronts the fact that life has no real value. Absurdism says that people should accept the nonsense of life and make their own meaning, instead of looking for absolute truth or purpose. People are challenged to find meaning in their deeds and live honestly in a world that doesn't have any. Camus once said, "The only way to deal with life's absurdity is to rebel against it, while accepting it at the same time." Existentialism. It is up to each person to give their life value. Having a passionate and honest life while dealing with your feelings, actions, and thoughts can help you do this. This movement has often been associated with thinkers who refuse to belong to any one particular school of thought, claiming them to be remote from real life. Nihilism. The word comes from the Latin word nihil, which means nothing. Existentialism says that each person is responsible for giving their own life meaning. Nihilism, on the other hand, says that life has no purpose, morality doesn't exist naturally, and knowledge is impossible. There is no worth in anything we do. Aestheticism. Aestheticism says that making and enjoying beauty should be the main goals of life. What a great idea. It's no wonder that many people have called it the theory of art and beauty. Even though few philosophers exclusively chose aesthetics as their branch, a lot of them included it in their broader philosophy. Anthropocentrism. Anthropocentrism is a human-centered worldview. It puts people first, and often puts their wants and interests ahead of those of other species or the environment. This point of view has affected laws about the environment and how natural resources are used. Some people say it makes environmental problems worse and want to change to ecocentrism, which sees how all living things are linked and wants to make the relationship between people and the environment more sustainable and peaceful. Cynicism. Philosophical cynicism is not the same as cynicism in the sense that it means not believing that other people are good, and seeing acts of kindness, altruism, and honesty as nothing more than self-interest. Cynics believe that being good in line with nature was the point of life. They could live a happy, easy life without any material things if they gave up wants like money, power, fame, and sex. Stoicism. Stoicism is a way of thinking that is based on the moral ideas of cynicism. It says that emotional and physical self-control can make you happy and give you strength and peace of mind. Stoicism is often seen as the opposite of hedonism. Its followers don't have to ignore pleasures, but it does teach them to be free from emotion so they don't become slaves to their pleasures. Hedonism. Hedonists think that pleasure is the only good thing in the world and that it is the holy grail of self-fulfillment. When hedonists judge behaviors and deeds, they look at how much pleasure they bring. Religious groups have often spoken out against hedonism because they think it goes against the message of avoiding sin. Epicureanism, which got its ideas from the teachings of Epicurus, a Greek philosopher who lived in the 3rd century BC, was a more reasonable way of thinking. It stressed that happiness is more of a state of tranquility than pleasure. Deism. Deism is a philosophical view that says there is a God who made the world based on reason and observation of nature. For deists, God is a non-interventionist who created the world but doesn't get involved in people's lives. Deism doesn't believe in organized religion. Instead, it values personal spirituality and logical research. During the Enlightenment, Famous people like Thomas Jefferson and Voltaire believed in deistic ideas, which had an impact on the growth of modern liberal thought. Emotivism. Emotivism is a theory about how ethics work that says moral statements are based on human feelings and preferences rather than objective truths. Emotionalism, which was first put forward by A.J. Ayer and C.L. Stevenson, says that moral language should describe feelings instead of facts in order to persuade others. Sayings like, "murder is wrong," are just a way for someone to show they don't agree with something. Emotivism goes against traditional moral realism by focusing on subjectivity in moral debate. It changed the way people talked about the nature of morality in the 20th century. Empiricism. Empiricism is a way of thinking that stresses how important experience and sensory awareness are in learning. Empiricists like John Locke and David Hume say that all knowledge comes from direct observation and testing. They don't believe in natural ideas. This view on how we know what we know has had a huge impact on the progress of science and our modern knowledge of how to learn. Rationalism. Rationalism is a philosophical viewpoint that emphasizes reason as the fundamental source of knowledge. Rationalists, such as René Descartes and Gottfried Leibniz, fight against empiricism by focusing on natural ideas and the power of deduction. This school of thought had a big effect on the ideas of the Enlightenment and modern philosophy. It also had a big effect on how math and science are done. Epiphenomenalism. This one assumes that physical events can have an effect on mental processes, while the opposite is impossible. That is, mental processes have no physical effects whatsoever. Idealism. Idealism is a philosophical idea that says the real world is mostly mental or spiritual. Idealism, which was popularized by Plato and George Berkeley, says that the mind or awareness is the most important part of shaping and understanding the outside world. This point of view has had an impact on many areas, such as philosophy, epistemology, and aesthetics. Realism. Realists believe that reality exists apart from the mind and focus on factual truth and things that can be seen. Realist ideas have had a big impact on art and thought. They reject idealism and abstraction and try to show the world as it really is. If you found this overview intriguing, you can go deeper into individual movements to gain a more comprehensive understanding. Thank you for joining us on this philosophical journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intellectual explorations. Until next time, stay curious.